What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, doing another late night stream. I really wanted to talk about this because I found myself
Managing
making
social media campaigns with Monday.com is easy. How easy?
I found myself making a lot of comments under the stream. You know, as some brothers keeping it real. One of the things a lot of y'all don't know is if you want to grow a channel, you can pretty much use some of these shows to kind of comment under and get some other subscribers. I actually don't do that. That's definitely something I'm gonna be doing a little bit more. But I wanted to put this. So this is as you all can see the title, it's Why Are Black Women Unlikable? This is gonna be fun. I don't know how far I'm gonna get on this, but we're definitely gonna jump into it. And see how far we can get. This is only gonna be me on here. I want to get as far as I can. So if you all want to do it going into Monday, yeah, I had some Pepsi, so I'm up. So this is a video. This allow me. Hey, you got to get the content in when you get the content in. So let's get this popping. This should be entertaining. Hey yo, type 1 if you can hear it. Type 1 if you can hear it. They really trying to build this bullshit.
I am Tammy Mack. Now check this out. People only see certain black women.
I don't know this chick, so you know, I give women about, you know, I at least try. All right, so y'all can't hear it. All right, let's go. All right, let's go.
That way because subconsciously, unconsciously, black women like Oprah have transcended race and have therefore escaped as unlikable.
Shit, that's bullshit. They just transcended race. Every like couple of years, Oprah gets denied in a jury. Good goddamn well who she is. Okay.
Or the ultimate, the angry one. Someone said the most protected.
I am getting so fucking tired of them using Malcolm X and really them speaking ill. I'm getting really, really tired of that shit. Hold on. That is they need to stop that. They really need to stop that. Let's go.
Person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
That's a lie.
But why? Why? And why does it continue to happen in 2020? Is there any truth to the damaging ideas of who? As a black woman, I want to talk about how the perception of black women affects the black community, black women, and the entire world. And to give us perspective on it, I'm joined by
what kills okay about this, and make sure y'all comment. I know it's late, but if y'all are up with me, be up with me. I see it's only 8 people. It'll take a second for people to pop up. Shit is the way she's setting it up. The premise of her setting this up would make it seem like black women are oppressed in the black community. That's bullshit. It's not true. It's not true. Make sure it's not true. So the whole premise is bullshit to start with.
Hi, Professor Stacey Mitchell, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dream McClinton, and Nakia Fields. Hey, y'all.
All right, let's look at who we. I mean, first mistake is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and Umar's the only black dude on here, and you obviously know Umar is gonna be on team, but we'll see where it goes. I haven't really seen this. We already know what it is. We already know what this shit is. Let's go.
Hello. Let's start with the question that I always love to start with, and that is, why should people care about the likability of black women?
To answer that question initially, black women should care about the likability of black. It's really not a problem. It's really not an issue for black men. Black women should care about their image, just like black men should care about their image. But what you're going to see with usually this, from what I've seen with the comments, is they're going to blame everybody for their own image and take zero responsibility. But let's see. Now, obviously, this came October 17th, so this is, about 10 days old, 9 days old.
And anyone can go at any time. How about Nakia?
Sure, I'd love to go first.
I'm fair use.
We should love Black women because Black women are our mothers and our sisters and our aunts and our grandparents.
Oh my God. Okay, so here's the fun about which we're gonna cut. I'm gonna cut into this all the time. So if you don't like it, feel free to see your way out. But already with that bullshit. So the likability of Black women. So apparently this topic about Black men not liking Black women, or is this topic about all men or all people? Because likability of Black women also has to do with other women. It's about people. But she brought it directly to black men with that statement.
And mothers. And we deserve just as much respect as anybody else. Being likable, that really stems from that whole angry Black women trope. It's out there, it's in the movies, it's what we hear. And sometimes it's what we learned in our society and our culture, that to, use violence and to use oppression and aggression to control our people is accepted. We see it on.
Oh my God. Did you hear? Dude, I'm telling you, I haven't heard this. I promise you all, I have not fucking heard this. So I cut her off, as I do with people, if people bitch about that. And some people think when I cut people off is because I don't, you ain't hear what he had to say. I don't need to. I know this is kind of like in sales, when you deal with objections, you get to the point where you can predict it because it's so obvious. And what did she say? I said she was talking about Black men. And then she went on the oppression. And I told you before that we even got to the topic, where the fuck are Black women? The fuck? Where is that coming from? And we get it because we were taught. How are Black men oppression? This is what people don't understand. When you are oppressed, it gives it to where your options are limited. That's not, oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to make this longer than this needs to be.
All the time.
Dream, why should Black people care about the likability of Black women?
Black women are the foundation of the Black community. Without
oh shit! I'm not gonna be able to get through this, y'all. Oh, my bad if my mic is kind of scraping against my shirt. I really need to get my other one. Let me know if that's. I don't think I'm gonna get through this. Oh shit. They good. You know what I need to do? I need some liquor, some Hennessy or something, and then start going through videos like this just to make it entertaining. Where y'all at? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get through it. The bullshit is on 1,000. Oh my God. Oh, let's go.
Black women, there would be no Black community. So
Hold on. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Rather than me doing this, I want to hear what Umar got to say. Cause see, here's the funny thing about Umar. Umar has been talking that shit a little bit. Umar's been trying to balance it out a little bit, and her name is Dream. Okay.
don't have a strong foundation. If you don't care about the foundation, I think.
I know. By the way, that's how you know you're in a gynocracy. Because what I would ask her is I would say, do you think that I could pull any race of woman? You know what? That's too easy. What I would is, Dream, do you believe that I could get a Caribbean woman on here? African woman on here? I can get a Muslim woman, aka Somali, on here. Any Afro-Latina, and I'm talking about one that's her complexion, that will say that same shit. That's the grapevine won't even say that shit, not in front of their idiot. That is some again. Why all you niggas? Why do we need ADOS? Because that is some unique ADOS shit. Even if they believe it, you can tell that anyway.
Black people really should care more about the health, the perception, and about Black women.
Stop bullshitting and start saying Black men. I mean, if we were really gonna have first of all, black women being unlikable. I did not, when I heard the title, I thought it was about their image in the country. I did not think this was an internal black person discussion. So stop acting like black women, because you have all these black women. They're not going to admit that other black. First of all, they're not going to admit other black women don't like black women. That's not what they're going to admit. Black women, a lot of black women can't stand other black women. Go look at the statistics when it comes to gay domestic assault. Black women whoop another black woman's ass in a heartbeat because they know how they are. Now, so this is about how black men perceive black women, and the truth is again, this is sexual politicking. I'm curious what Umar has to say.
Dr. Umar?
I would say,
oh shit, let's see.
Because perception is reality. And I think it's very important that the African-American community understands how other people may misunderstand African-American women. For me, it's less about the unlikability. It's about the misunderstandings behind why the black woman feels the way she feels and why she acts the way she may act.
So you call
now I know I'm not stupid. Umar basically made it about external to the community. First of all, black men, we know what black women are. So by him saying that, he low-key was saying. You got to understand, Umar, the thing about it, I'm predicting is because these women are so slanted on one way, Umar is going to do his best to thread the needle. But Umar is going to serve as a counterbalance. He's probably looking at, all right, these chicks are on some shit. But real talk, there's no way that a masculine man like Umar should believe that the black women are bullshit. And Malcolm X didn't believe that either. He's in the Nation of Islam. Now, black women have their role, and I can make an argument their role is 50% as important. It has value, but the reality of the situation is it tells a lot about what the black community is. The fact that you got women this, and this is why a lot of these women can't go no, because other men wouldn't tolerate this bullshit. That you won't get past go. Anyway, what are you all saying? I know Archer. See, I can't bring you up, Archer, because Archer, you be talking mad shit. Okay, y'all, I got you. Give me a second. That noise.
This would be second. BGS, you the only one. If you see the problem, BGS is I know I kind of play it too much. I pause much, but you the only one that if you want to come up, you can come up. The rest of y'all, it's a moratorium. So this came across my feed. Maybe it's because I listened to the Ice Cube thing, but I'm glad to have the Fox Soul because I think the Fox Soul is going. I got tired of Madame Noir and their bullshit. But the Fox Soul is going to be some good fodder for us, especially since they get the visibility they get. Make sure. Let me know if you can press 1 if you all can hear me. Yeah, it is Umar Johnson Chaos. And y'all need to, some of y'all in the sphere need to go through this shit. This is going to be good video. This is fair use, fair use. One thing that helps me with pausing it a lot is it makes it so they can't like try to tag me.
Call it a misunderstanding. Let's jump into that. One would ask, how do you know how black women feel about how she's misunderstood? So could you explain that?
Absolutely. When you talk about the angry black woman syndrome, first we have to understand that concept of an angry black woman grows out of a narrative based in slavery that says that you have no right to object to the way that you're being treated. You have no right to disagree with the way that people perceive you. Anger can be a very healthy response to the way someone's treated. You should never be trapped by your anger or defined by your anger, but there is a degree of righteous indignation that is necessary for anyone to confront a reality that is.
Let's keep this real. Yeah, what you're saying is correct, but the problem is where that anger is directed. That these women are not angry at women. If you ain't noticed, Miss All White Men Are Not the Same, Claudia Jordan, when Ice Cube said that. And I'll tell you, Umar, that shit.
Unhealthy and unfortunate. And so when we say the angry Black woman, we have to understand that we should not be so quick to reject that, but reinterpret the narrative so people understand why Black women are so angry. For example, even now, 4 centuries later, Black women are still wrestling for the right to define their own sexuality. They're still wrestling for the right to define who they are as opposed.
Well, shit, so is Black men. I mean, are you serious? Let's be real. Black women define their own sexuality, are able to define their own sexuality as a group a hell of a lot more than Black men are. Even if you look at it from both perspectives, when you look at the BBC Black men, that's defined. Black men don't own porn for the most part, and Black men and when you Black men in the sports, that's being defined for them too. Black men have never had control over what masculinity was for them, and women have a lot more control because women are supporting shit. They'll get into it from what I hear.
To be defined by outsiders.
When you say they're still fighting sexuality, what do you mean by that?
I mean specifically that Black women are the only group of women in American culture who are not allowed to consistently enjoy their femininity. In other words, if
here we go.
White woman says,
now a lot of these commenters on the low, they went to the I'm not protected bullshit, and I said women don't fuck men they don't feel protected by. So women are not sexually attracted to, they are not individually they don't feel protected by. Let's cut this. So that bullshit is bullshit.
I need a husband to help me raise my children. That's normal and accepted. If a Chinese woman, if a Latino woman, if a East Indian woman, an Arabian woman says, I feel depressed.
Oh shit, I know where he's going.
I'm lonely. I feel burnt out. I'm having trouble taking care of my children. It's okay. It's part of being a woman. But if a Black woman says the same thing, she can be chided for doing so. The Black woman is expected to.
So hold on. See, I told you Lord's gonna try to balance it out a little bit. So he's not gonna be on his straight, he ain't gonna be on his bullshit like normal. He's actually gonna try to represent a little bit. My question is, whose fault is that? And this is why a lot of these women got triggered. Because they like Umar, but they got triggered in the comment section. Whose fault is that? That's not Black men doing. That's Black women doing that. But let me let them finish.
To be strong all the time. She's expected to be invincible all the time. And to some degree, unfortunately, I think our sisters may go too far into endorsing that narrative to the point where.
Well, there it is. There it is. I told you. I'm telling you all, I haven't seen this. I swear to God, I haven't seen a single second of this before I talk to you. I just went in the comment section and responded based on people's comments.
To work against, for example, in therapy, I've had sisters tell me, I don't really feel comfortable discussing these problems with you. Not because you're a man, but because I've been raised never expose my vulnerability. I've been raised to always turn to Jesus whenever I have a problem.
And that is not Black men telling them to do that. No. God, I hate when I do that dumb shit. That is not, but see, that's what we're gonna see if we're gonna get in that conversation. I know they're gonna do. They're gonna run to the protection racket. Watch, they're gonna avoid and see. Come on.
Dr. Umar, was Serena Williams when she wore, I think it was like a cat. Download our Fox Soul app. You can go to Fox Now, Fire TV, Tubi. That's how Black women are perceived.
Give me a second because I gotta let it load.
even big things change.
Gotta let it load. Damn, I fucked up.
I want to ask you, Stacey, how has slavery caused Black women to become victims of these?
Well,
First of all,
sadly,
hold on, because I missed it. Oh shit, my bad, y'all.
Degree. Unfortunately, I think our sisters may go too far into endorsing that narrative to the point where it begins to work against them. For example, in therapy, I've had sisters tell me, I don't really feel comfortable discussing these problems with you. Not because you're a man, but because I've been raised to never expose my vulnerability. I've been raised to always turn to Jesus. I have a problem. I'm not supposed to admit that I'm hurting and need help.
This is third
So
shift.
Dr. Umar just talked about slavery and how that, and
You know what kills me? I understand that, but that in and of itself is a cop out, because when a Black people is an excuse, and we always talk about it from. Let's keep it real. Black men didn't. Oh, why? Let's keep this.
Inevitably affects how Black women are perceived today. I want to ask you, Stacey, how has slavery caused Black women to become victims of these stereotypes?
Well, sadly, slavery and the images that come out of that gross narrative that we're now still talking about and grappling with, either as some sort of, motherly or mother or caretaker, or a childbearer, or the cook and the man, or a Jezebel, like all of these very kind of singular ways of thinking. And so I think what everybody on the panel has already kind of brought up is that we are an array of identities, and that goes from our sexuality to how we practice our reality. And we are not.
Notice how we're talking about Black female likability, and the first topic is sexuality. Remember what I told you about sexual politicking, and that the Black woman, she places her status in America. By the way, she gives far more about than she does what her Black man thinks of her, even though this situation will always be predicated on Black men, because technically we're going to talk about slavery, then obviously Black men are out of this conversation when it comes to being at fault, but you never hear these things brought up to those men or their women ever.
Any of those single stories or single narratives or single stories as Adichie. So yeah, so those are ideas. So much of our society is still kind of locked into many practices that come.
Our society, yeah, everybody that talked other than her was talking about Black men, by the way. So when we say our society, you notice how they keep switching back and forth
from slavery, and especially in the way that they deal and interact. So as Black women, you led with the quote, the most disrespected and unprotected woman in America, and you may even argue in the world. So the slavery as a colonialism as a structure, Blackness and
yeah, but that's not true for ADOS Black women. That's not true for Black women in America.
Darkness shows the Black community, so to speak, but across.
And I don't mean to cut it off again, but that's the thing about Black women in America. But Black women in America cannot compare what Black women in the third world have to deal with. That's bullshit. The Black woman arguably has, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
We have where they place this lower value on what we know as Blackness.
Right? Let's talk about those stereotypes. Dream, what are stereotypes that have led Black women to being viewed in a negative light?
There's the Jezebel, where she's overly sexualized. There's the Mammy, where she has no sexualization. There are so many tropes of being angry.
You can tell she's young, so it's always gonna. You already know she's a colorism chick.
It leads to us being villainized in a way that dehumanizes us and not only takes away from.
Where is Black women being? Like seriously, show me the media. Like honestly, show it to me. No, show me the media that's not supported by Black women. How about that? That's an easier thing. Show me the media. Westworld, maybe. Okay, that's
who we are as people and who we are as a community, but how we interact with one another and how we interact with the world as a whole.
Right.
You notice how she keeps coming. Notice how she keeps. This is the second time she's talked. Notice how she keeps coming back to the internal Black community. Notice she wants to talk about black men bad. She wants to talk about black men bad. Oh, I got it fast. All right, y'all. All right. I'm gonna keep it to 1.25. I've actually been speeding it up because I know how I am. All right, I'm gonna rewind it.
Stereotypes dream. What are stereotypes?
So
that have
it's at 1.25. Y'all gonna have to deal with that. I had it on 1.5.
Black women to being viewed in a negative light.
There's the Jezebel where she's overly sexualized. There's the Mammy where she has no sexualization. There are so many tropes of being angry and to us being villainized in a way that dehumanizes us and not only takes away from who we are as people and who we are as a community, but how we interact with one another and how.
Right.
And you know, I was listening to her speak, and I was seeing on the internet how people want to be black, like how they're putting lips in and booties in and darker skin and tanning. So when we talked about being likable, I was like, they like us. They like everything about us. What is unlikable about us, you know, in particular?
Nothing.
It's just that when it's
Go ahead.
acting as us, when it's us modeling the behavior, we become the unlikable figures because we stand at a crux of and sexism. And so it's just a double whammy of oppression.
Here we go. Intersectionality. Here we go.
Well, I think also that Black women and the Black community in general, because we see with brothers as well, we have to be very careful about thanking people like us because they like certain aspects of your culture or your phenotype. Wanting a quote unquote black booty, or wanting black lips, or wanting to be in pop, or wanting to be an R&B singer.
Number one, that's a black female problem because black females, I just did a video, check it out, talk about validation. And when we're going to talk about a socio-political context, this is where black women, their thing, and they want to be validated. That's part of that sexual ticking shit. So they have different agendas than we have. And you can hear it in her voice. She gives a fuck about her womanhood. And she's like, notice how if you had a whole panel of black men having this conversation about the black woman being likable, it would be a completely different conversation because we're going to actually talk about why black women are not likable and how they can fix that versus they're talking about something completely different. Like, for instance, America, man, please.
Is not the same as wanting to endure the responsibility of living in your political reality. As I always say, everyone wants to be black until it's time to fight racism. And everyone who we allow, quote unquote, to be black are often never around.
Nigga, you didn't say that. Stop trying to change one word, but go ahead.
When it comes time to fight that racism.
We want to talk about specifically the differences between how white women are treated and how black women are treated when it comes to being.
Here we go. So this is the myth of white womanhood trope. And by the way, that's bullshit because now motherfuckers are starting to coin the term Karen, and that's a term that white men coin. I just saw a video, and obviously it's anecdotal, of a white dude that had Black Lives Matter thing on it, which, you know, he's liberal, and then a woman being Karen, and basically he sprayed her ass with a hug. Like I'm not saying it's equal, it's obviously not, but the fact that you can even have a term called Karen like that is starting to get spread. I'm not saying that it's not bent, but this the myth of white womanhood. Here comes the myth white womanhood section.
Angry black woman, or when it comes to the protection of black women. We're going to do that when we return. Amy McLeod Show on Fox Soul.
Oh my God, the protection. Black women are not protected. The black women not being protected is a way for black women to bitch about their status in America. It's a way for them to low-key blame black men for their overall low-grade status in the United States, which that's not our fault. Appreciate the $5 super chat.
On Fox Soul. Tonight we're talking about the likability of black women. What is up? Why do people have a problem? Why they got a problem with us?
I mean, the level of delusion, in this conversation, and this is on social media again. And see, this is what's dangerous about them doing shit like this. Is I can do shit like this, and they could knock my video down, and yeah, I can stop showing the video and then show just the audio and cut the audio up or put it on Patreon. But these conversations are gonna get had. Another thing is when you do videos like this, you see these dudes because there's some dudes in the comment section that's keeping it real. There's some females that are making some comment, but for the most part, like 85% of the women are on some. It shows you how diluted the women actually are. It's funny, man.
We are the most maternal, endearing, generous people on the planet, y'all.
That is a goddamn lie. I almost spit out my drink when she said that shit. There's a minority of black women that can definitely fulfill that role. But let's keep it real. As a group, if you don't get all the way the fuck out of here.
If you want more of this content, all you have to do is log on to foxhole.tv. Download our Foxhole app. You can go to Fox Now, Fire TV, Tubi, Zumo, Roku. You can also hit us up on Apple TV. And right now we are live on the YouTube channel. So if you want to hit us up in the chat, we see you. You can talk to us. We'll talk back. And I do mean we will talk directly back to you. And also you can find us at caffeine.tv. So we were talking before the break. Dr. Umar mentioned the sexuality of the Black woman. And what it instantly made me think of.
Nigga, if y'all need to email this, email this shit to Jap. Jap will destroy this shit. You know Jap will do a video and basically slow roast this bullshit. You know Jap will have a field day with this shit. That video. Ramil will too.
Of Dr. Umar was Serena Williams. When she wore, I think it's like a cat suit for one of the tennis matches, and then they banned her from wearing cat suits. Whereas we know that would have never happened to a white woman. And then it made me long when we talk about the things that Kim Kardashian wears and how it became all of a sudden
I'm not trying to say white supremacy doesn't exist, but show me the white bitch that's they did the cat they basically did the cat suit. Then you have a statement. Come on now.
Thing to have once Kim Kardashian had one and made it popular with the world. Even when we talk about hair, Bo Derek back in, I think it maybe was the 80s, maybe even 70s, she did a movie called
God, but again, oh my God.
And she wore her French braids to the back, or her hair was cornrowed to the back, and all of a sudden it became women to have their hair cornrowed who were not Black women. And then I think about,
but that is, but you know what's funny? The funny thing about it is this intersectionality shit is never brought to white men. It's never really brought to white women. So by definition, intersectionality should have you competing against white women, not working locks with them their own agenda. I never hear you all bring that shit up. I never even hear Black women bring that shit up to conservative white women.
Call us angry. When people call Black women angry Black women, I immediately think about the Karens of the world who have
Fox, I think my mom was cussing me out back in the day. The Karens. How do you immediately think about Karen when that's a relatively new term?
ever gone tapped or labeled as the angry white woman.
Well, I mean, Karen is white way of doing that. And by the way, usually cunt and bitch is reserved, please, man, because in many ways they're men a lot more freer to check them.
Why is that? Let's go, Stacey.
Because you don't own your media. White media is not going to denigrate white women. The media that they isn't going to do that. That's the beginning and the end of it. Sorry.
Until now.
Look, Black folks gave them a name and they.
No, that's not true. BGS, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Black people did Black people come up. Who came up with Karen? That was white. That's what white person. They're not blaming Black men yet. They're circling it, but they're not doing it yet. White men Karen, if I'm not mistaken. Black men did not come. Black people did not come up. Because think about it. If you say Black people came up with Karen, who came up with Karen? It wasn't Black women didn't come up. Black women didn't come up with the term Karen. And you know they not gonna let niggas just start calling black women Karen. They barely let the Becky shit go. You know, some white women were starting to say Becky was starting to be racist. And that's now black men came up with the Becky term. Black men did, but black Karen. But y'all put it in the chat. Who came up with Karen? Was that black people? Because that's what she's saying. I don't think that's a lie.
They pissed to high heaven. Like,
Oh, yes. Until now.
N-word. No, saying Karen is not like saying the N-word. I'm so sorry for anybody out there who thinks Karen is equivalent to the N-word, because you Karen. The N-word, not so much. Go ahead.
No,
Susan.
not equivalent at all. And in fact,
BGS, you sure it was black women? Fine. So basically, you saying intersectionalist. Okay, I have nothing to refute that. So
you know, as a black woman, this, you know, we signifying a little bit. Obviously, we signifying on these who want to turn up on us in all of these spaces, and also who want to police us. But that same behavior, as you said,
first of all, I have rarely seen a action between black women and white women. You don't see that. You don't see that. You don't see white women walking up to black women like they do black men. No, and that's a funny thing. White women are actually, they feel a lot more comfortable dealing with black when they doing some racial shit than black women, because they know a black woman's gonna give them a reason to call the fucking police, because one woman against another woman is not the same. So, oh my God.
Does and often cost black women our lives, our freedom, our families, our children, right, our jobs, our security, but we're the ones who are always and always have been over the course of history on the avant-garde of taking these streets and taking what we called an unprotected space, this space where black women could go and be heard, right? When we weren't able to go to the pulpit, when we didn't have our own churches or our own clubs, well, what space did we take? We took it to the streets. And this is as early as, kind of public addresses when white women to speak on the streets that way was like social death. And so we started to see over time this movement from the 1800s to the early 1920s to the 70s, and then again a recent resurgence with what we're calling Me Too. But in those spaces,
the problem is they always want to have a slave. They notice how they keep on keeping it out of the 30 years, and they try to bring it back to the modern times. They want, because this allows them to escape how black women contribute it. All that shit might be true back then, but in the last 34, since the crack era, that has not been true. As true. Black women do a lot to damage a lot more, and they buy into these stereotypes. And that's like, even when you look at OnlyFans, man, Lisa Ray is about to get on fucking, oh man, get the fuck out of here. She's nigga. That's what she's doing.
Doesn't matter. Where a legion of black women had already been out on the streets, but where were all children and our father and our own lives, right?
Yeah, Nakia.
And we still hold that label, right? Yeah. Those who are out there now.
Absolutely.
You know, I think the difference is that they're white. that's the difference.
No,
it's as simple as that. They get the privilege and the love to just be in their
no, for real.
They don't come with the additional labels that we already have to overcome
shit,
every
for
single
real?
day. For example, my specialty is early childhood development and maternal health. The disparities that are in the data around Black births and children not living before the age of 1 in just the LA area is because white.
First of all, let's keep this all the way 100. Yes, white women are the last people to say anything about anything, but this idea that white women don't have their problems with their own men, you know, their men have the greatest ability to check their ass, you know. So let's stop acting like, see, what black women do in this case is black women like to switch. This is how she's code switching. They're switching from how black women are boo-hoo, and then when they get to black men, they translate that into how black men are treating black women internally. The truth is, the black woman has the greatest freedom for men of any woman in the United States. That's not debatable. So there are certain privileges black women enjoy that even white women can't enjoy, not in the same way. Now that's different now, but that's a little bit different now because of Me Too and shit. But even then, like, no Get the fuck out of here. And they're hiding it behind certain little anecdotal facts that are true, but but they're using it to pack the thing.
Women, regardless of socioeconomic status, are just being treated better when they're in their pregnancy, when they're in their lived lives. Data shows that.
Okay, again, I hate to say the answer is to have black hospitals, but y'all don't want that shit. Y'all don't want your own. And my thing is, I understand that, you know, people need to be for those rights, but at the end of the day, man, don't you start.
Before a woman gets pregnant, if she had a mental health disorder or any mental health illness, what stress causes, racial trauma causes it. Our lived experience is extremely stressful. So it's even impacting our pregnancies, and our children are coming out of like stressful world. And we as the mothers are the one who are held responsible by society to do the care. So if anything's going wrong with our
that's bullshit. That's crap. Because first of all, let's keep this all the way real. Nobody's making you have these children, and black women damn sure exercise their rights. Number two, this idea that you're held responsible, it's called foster care. It's called leaving the baby on the fucking fire station. It's called without any penalties, by the way. It's called this is assuming you're choosing minutes about some shit in the first place. It's called having a motherfucking husband, which 73% of y'all don't know how to fucking you. Like, man, I believe that's true for you, but you know good and goddamn well that these are choices that black women choose to make that shit more stressful than it would otherwise be. Culture of I want to be superwoman, and black women holding other black women accountable to that. Fuck out of here with that.
Children, then black women are blamed. To me, that as we go to sexuality,
you all are blamed because you all are the ones raising the kids, getting the support, and getting all the government benefits. The few that do go to black people because you have the kids. You will never hear a black woman saying, I need to give the kids to the dad because I can't do it. Fuck out of here.
And you talk about not being able to be free sexually. That's definitely true.
Be free. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Be free sexually. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? You all want to be you what the fuck do you want to do? You want to public and people think that's okay? The fuck are you talking about? Free sexually. What does that mean? The fuck does that mean? They keep saying it. Free sexually. The fuck are you talking about?
We're anchored by a religion that's been put on us to keep us in control.
Oh, that's what you. Oh my God, where's Kevin Samuels? Kevin would love this shit. That's that Christian black feminism. So now we're going to project male oppression via the church, even though the church is ran by black women now and has been ran by black women probably for 15 years, if not since the 2000s. The fuck are you talking about? I knew she was going somewhere with that bullshit.
With our bodies and free with ourselves and free with our thought, we're not in control. But the thing is,
hold on, let me repeat that shit. That bullshit.
It's extremely stressful. So it's even impacting our pregnancies, and our children are coming out of like the womb into this very stressful world. And we as the mothers are the one who are held responsible by society to do the care. So if anything's going wrong with our children, then black women are blamed. So it makes sense to me that as we go to sexuality and you talk about not being able to, that's definitely true, because we're anchored by a religion that's been put on us to keep us in control. And if we're free with our bodies and free with ourselves and free with our thought, we're not in control. But the thing is, we're magic and people see it. And that's why they're running around telling these lies about us being unlikable. Please.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Yo, we don't have liquor stores. Not really. This woman just got done going over She just got done having these soliloquy about government making black women take the child. Even like that's insane right there. Then she switched it to the church, which we already know is talking about the black church. Right. Then she had the nerve to say black girl magic. Even Taraji P. Henson has stated black girl magic is low-key detrimental to black women because a lot of that superwoman shit that, by the way, Umar mentioned is due to black magic. A lot of that, well, it doesn't matter because it's magic, right? So just click your heels 3 times, shake your weave or shake your dress and make it happen because it's magic. And this is a woman that is supposedly a mental health professional. So I don't know if she's a doctor. I don't know. They say she's a mental health entrepreneur. Now that could be a slick way of saying that she's just a chick that's got an opinion on some shit and knows how to make it sound right. I don't know though. But that shit, she's got a good game when it comes to selling black women some shit. But the reality is, situation is, black girl magic is pretty much what paves the way for everything you're talking about. And that's something that you all promote. Black men don't promote that. That is something you do. And this is not about me, but you all need to remove everything you do. Then let's start talking about the shit that needs to be fixed. Stop trying to act like we're going to fix everything else and then not address none of the shit. At least do half and half. Like, I can't believe she said that. I'm going to replay that because I want you all to hear what she did.
Mental health illness, which toxic stress causes, racial trauma causes it. Our lived experience is extremely stressful. So it's even impacting our pregnancies, and our children are out of like the womb into this very stressful world. And we as the mothers are the one who are held responsible by society to do the care. So if anything's going wrong with our children, then black women are. So it makes sense to me that as we go to sexuality and you talk about not being able to be free sexually, that's definitely true, because we're anchored by a religion that's been put on us to keep us in control. If we're free with our bodies and free with ourselves and free with our thoughts, we're not in control. But the thing is, we're magic and people see it. And that's why they're running around telling these lies about us being unlikable. Please, you like everything about us. That's the point I was making. You like everything about us. You like everything about our culture. You in your movies, in history, you've shown us nursing your babies, us around. You like us. You just don't respect us.
I mean, the level of delusion. I mean, first of all, the reason why you all black women were nursing the babies is because it was a class thing, and now the Hispanic women are here. They don't need you for that. That's number one. So that just was what it was. The second thing is, like, her whole statement, it shows a level of delusion that, quite frankly, as a woman that in every other aspect seems like she's an intelligent, actually kind of alarming. Because this is a woman that other women are actually listening to, certain women. And this really goes to show you level of delusion, the brainwashing. They really don't know what up and down. It's really crazy when you really think about it. When you really about it, it's actually kind of insane what she said. I mean, she nullified everything she said with black girl magic. And then she keeps on saying that you like it. First of all, really, this conversation should have been split into 2 halves. The internal black community and the greater American society. Because those are 2 completely different conversations. The problem is this is not about really getting anything done. And this is just about women venting and cackling is what you call it said. And you can see the dark-skinned chick, the young one. I mean, oh my God, man. Oh my God.
Ooh, Dr. Umar.
That's well said. I think very well said.
Ain't well said, Umar. Shut the fuck up.
And I would add a little caveat in support of that. One of the things I see being in mental health is I'm starting to see women than ever before beginning to succumb to the stress of living up to everyone's expectations.
Yeah, because black men are like, Azrael said, the next time a black woman tells you that they aren't protected, tell them they're magical, delicious. But in that case, they get what they deserve. No, I've already checked that delusion. I said that in the. Y'all look at the video. I've got some comments and some replies down there. You'd have to find them because there's like 1,000 comments. But I already said women are not sexually attracted, genetic sexually attracted to men they don't feel protected by. So that's a lie when they say that. That's the first thing. The second thing you go at them with is, are you honest? An African American woman is less protected in the United States of America than an African woman in third world Africa. Are you really saying that? Are you really saying that black women in America are less protected than black women in the Caribbean, are less protected than Afro Latinas? Are you really fucking saying that? Or in Brazil, women that are more making that comparison, then you realize how fucking stupid that comment is. So we know that's not true. That's a way for them to project their hatred of being and to put that on the dudes. And I say black men are not capable of fixing your self-hatred problem. That's something you're going to have to do. Just like man confidence. If a man is insecure, even if you validate him sexually, if you start to smile at another dude, even if you were being coy, insecurity is going to come out, so it doesn't matter. And Umar is just, man, Umar is here just to be a dude. Sound like they all hating.
Both domestically, politically, and socially. I've seen more black women over the past 5 years have nervous breakdowns than I've seen at any.
Oh, by the way, he's saying that because black men ain't carrying. Black men are not silently carrying the water for black women anymore. Like that's what alluding to is the fact that black men stop being stepfathers. They ain't got that stepdaddy insurance plan anymore.
The other point in my professional history, and I think that to say that black women have to reclaim their femininity, they have to reclaim their vulnerability, they have to stop allowing others to victimize them with the strong black women narrative, which has become
nobody do. Oh my God! All right, man. I'm gonna stop.
Dangerous emotionally and dangerous psychologically, because there's a lot of black women who crave help, who need help, but who are not comfortable seeking mental health assistance. They've been raised to believe that they can never be vulnerable.
Well, you know, that's interesting you would bring up that fact, because it seems that exists with black men and women. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. Black men also are given that you have to be strong, you have to be a man, you have to take control. So it's interesting.
Yeah, but black men are way more capable of doing that than black women. I mean, come on now. You saw how she just deflected. Come on.
That you would say that, because I am kind of juxtaposing it with black men, and it's amazing how strong we as black people are supposed to be when we have been perceived as the weakest of the races.
Which is ironic given the history, because even other races,
even that's actually not true. Even nobody says that. They may say we're the stupidest, but you ain't never heard anybody say that we're the weakest. You don't even hear white people say that. They wouldn't have picked us as slaves if that was true.
When they're polled on slavery, when they're polled on Jim Crow, when they're polled on modern day white racism and asked whether or not they think, if put under circumstances, whether or not they could exist and survive as well as black people have been able to, most of them would admit that they don't think they would be able to hold up under that. So I think spiritually, I think most other human families in the world will look to the black African, us, as being the strongest psychologically and spiritually.
Wow, we're gonna go to our soulmates here because we got.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, what the fuck she said was stupid, because nobody says that. The main genetic argument that they make across the board, maybe Hispanics don't do it, but Asians, if they're gonna go racial and white, is they make the intellectual argument. They never make the strength argument. Even Richard Spencer would tell you that black people are physically strong. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not. What the fuck are you talking about?
And RJ
Notice how they using StreamYard. Yo, this is StreamYard. I know this is StreamYard.
Renee says they want to affect us. The same thing you said, Nakia. They want to be us, but they don't.
No, they don't want to be you. Shut the fuck up. They don't want to be you. Shut the fuck up. They really want your men. That's really what it is. This is what. I hate to let the cat out of the bag here, but white women do you see getting asses or getting bigger that don't want black men? If you're dealing with a white woman that only wants white men or maybe Hispanic women, their bodies roll if they're really going after that. So it has nothing to do with wanting to be a black woman. They fucking want your men. But see, you all are too fucking stupid to see that. And they don't even need to get an ass to do it. When they start allowing themselves to get bigger, I can't believe they don't understand that. I want to be you. What in your mind? And I'm not saying a black woman isn't, black women are not beautiful, but I'm saying these women don't want to be you like that. And them getting tan, that's another thing. Them getting tan ain't even about wanting to be black. Them getting tanned is more about them not wanting to be pale, because that haired ginger Irish pale thing is not really attractive amongst white people. This is what I've been told. Get the fuck, like the narcissism here.
Don't want to respect us. Since I brought up Serena Williams, I want to go a little bit more into her. According to the BBC during the U.S.
You're really, is Serena, if anything, man, you're really gonna, Serena Williams, is she really the best example to bring up? Is she really the example of femininity or example? What the fuck are you talking about?
Open final, Serena Williams received a code violation for coaching, a penalty point for breaking her racket, and a game penalty for calling the umpire a thief.
This is the example you want to bring up. You notice how Venus, and I get it. Serena has been given a bad deal, but to a certain extent. But you notice Venus never caught this kind of heat. And Venus is not Serena, but Venus is a successful tennis player in her own right.
And was later fined $17,000.
Well, if she was a white woman, that would have happened.
My goodness. Her reactions to the referee's calls, which the Women's Tennis Association has since decried as sexist, were different from how many players react in the heat of a championship game, any championship game. But
no, you talking about men. Get the fuck out of here. And let's be clear, black men have taken on a very big brunt of that, and we don't bitch about it. You've had whole rules, and man, get the fuck out of here.
Basketball, a lot of people during that time went directly to John McEnroe, who oftentimes broke.
So you're going to compare a man to...
Alone has a commercial endorsing a product with him breaking his racket and yelling at the umpire or referee. So why is it that Serena got such a bad rap for this, Dream?
Well, I believe that Serena, not only because she's a black woman and was one of the first black women ever on the...
I'm telling you, the bitch is going to go dark. I know it. Watch. I want a super chat from somebody if she does. In fact, I think she's going to do it in the next 30 seconds.
Court. She's also a darker skinned black woman.
Yeah. What did I say? I told you I have not seen. I swear to you all, you know me. So I do a lot of my shit off inspiration. You know I don't play. I'm not gonna listen. I didn't listen to it. I just went in the comments. She got that look like I'm dark and I hate it. Look, man, this woman is actually not. She's actually really attractive. She actually has a very on them voice. But yeah, I mean, but the thing about it is she gives off the I hate myself. And that shit is not attractive.
And so her anger, even though it's probably justified, dignified, is seen as her acting out.
Yeah.
It's seen as her
Appreciate it.
Breaking the mold that they want us to walk.
That's not that's true, but it's not true. Yeah, $5. Appreciate the super chat. Dejan, $2. Appreciate the super chat. Man, Clapman Killer. Yeah, but man, goddamn about it is, and look, I know she's weaving it up, but at least she got some good weave on. But the thing about it is, she's one of these women that she oh my god, if she can't, man, she called Kevin talking about it doesn't matter, I'm dark, motherfucker, it doesn't matter. So yeah, appreciate super chat prime time. I told you. I knew it was coming.
And so for her, I think she was playing, correct me if I'm wrong, Naomi Osaka during that match, and Naomi won. But in the comics, Naomi is painted as this.
No, but Naomi was getting. I won't say she was getting her ass whooped, but she was losing. Serena ain't used to losing, and Naomi. Okay, it's hard but I would holler at probably I would holler at Serena probably before Naomi. Naomi doesn't have the greater face. And see, I'm glad she's mentioning Naomi because here's the truth. See, she know, like, even though it's close, Naomi is not, and she's not ugly. I ain't trying to say, but she's not attractive either. Like, she kind of she is not blazing like the good part. Oh, get the fuck out of here. I can't believe she pulled that. She pulled that dark card. That's just not the best play to pull a dark card.
Which we know she doesn't have as well. But the reason she didn't get as much backlash, we'll say, as much as Serena did, is because Serena has not only been dominant for longer, but is also noticeably darker than her. And
of course, because that's the only thing. And see, the funny thing about that is, that being said, Serena got with an Armenian dude, but we're going to call Kim's white, so we're going to count that. And then on top of that, she was that dude was on founder of Reddit, which is the main organization basically attacks Serena. That's the main group of white where they do it. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but get the fuck, like, this is all like oh, because oh, fucking God, because she's dark. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, let me call bullshit on that. Lisa Ray is a perfect example. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Colorism plays a huge part into the perceptions of Black women. And I believe that played a part in the way that Serena was handled.
Venus and Serena came into the tennis world and literally, like Ali, shook the sport, shook the.
And you know, and the funny thing about this, if that's true, then show me the evidence for Venus. Notice how Venus doesn't have, Venus wasn't dominant. Well, being dominant doesn't matter. Dominant does not matter, because you said being dark matters. Being dark is what matters. So don't play the dark and dominant. And Venus, let's be clear here, Venus has actually been very dominant. It's just she hasn't beaten her sister like that. But Venus was capable of beating anybody else in there. She may not have been winning like Serena was winning, but let's be clear here, like, because Serena was winning the shit and she bowed out a little bit quicker, but because that's what she wanted to do. But let's stop acting like Venus was doing, man, please, let's stop it.
World and dominated it, and are still dominating the sport. And that Black body, that powerful African, like, notice that you said, Dream, like, she's dark skinned, but she has very African features. And let's not forget.
Oh my God, featureism. We just go add it all in here, boy. It's all coming.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are, Dream. I don't know if you know these images of the way.
She's got to be under. She's got. Well, I don't know. She.
Know where you're about to go with this.
You already know with the cornrows and the beads. Bringing Compton, bringing every Black girl to the tennis court. But also, we were talking earlier, Dr. Johnson, you mentioned that concept of our femininity, which I also like to reframe as reciprocity, which helps to keep our femininity in balance, right? For us to give and also receive. That we love to give, but it's a little bit harder for us to receive.
But see, the issue is, again, and I'm glad I did this, because this goes back to the video I did earlier, like which was the validation issue. Black women will never get their validation in their femininity as long as they're looking for it in the white society. And unfortunately, that's a choice they have to make to stop doing that. Black men are not going to come in their lifetime and create a fucking Wakanda. This is what Liberia would have been good for. And to be fair, let's keep this all the way real. It ain't like going to Africa, that problem, because you got skin bleaching, which is very rampant there. So where's the excuse for them? They're around others that look like that. So again, come on. At some point, women are just gonna have to take responsibility for that and deal with that on their own. And
but with Serena Williams, like Sojourner Truth, we have these sisters who, when they're powerful, like Michelle Obama, when they're powerful, then their femininity is taken away from them or is questioned, or then they're,
you know, being powerful and being a woman, being powerful and being feminine is actually an oxymoron. And see, this is the delusion that Black women have. And you see, this is the thing that's funny when it came to Tomi Lahren, because Tomi Lahren exemplified this. Tomi Lahren acted as close to a white woman acting Black look at what she was complaining about, and it was damn near indistinguishable as to the type. If you take out the colorism, the featureism bullshit, the same shit with the same shit. Value. You need to. It's the same bullshit. The reality is, you either want to be powerful or you want to be feminine. Say you can't be. I'm not gonna say there isn't a balance there, but you're gonna have to make one override the other. It's like saying I emotional at the same time. You can't do that. One is going to have to dominate the other. One is going to have to be your default. Like, I'll give you an example. Take Raining Woman, for example. I'm not going to say Raining Woman is weak, but you can tell what probably dominates her worldview is femininity. This is not to say that she can't step into getting shit done when she needs you. She's an adult. But the reality is, if you look at what she defaults to, if a dude is getting loud on the panel, what does she do? She dials it back as far as how she sounds, as far as like volume, or she'll leave the panel. Usually she'll dial it back when it comes to the volume. And then that's a signal, I'm not comfortable with how loud you're talking. Picks up on it, like, all right, maybe I fucking, let me dial it back a little bit. It's an instant thing, because that's a man responding to how she's moving in a feminine way. And if you're not feminine, you can't understand that. To be fair, even a lot of dudes, when you deal with a lot of dudes that are betas, how does a beta? Betas are not confronting the world head on. Betas are kind of passive. Not to say they're feminine, but they're passive, because they understand if they move through the world in a very aggressive aggressive way, that the world is going to meet them in an aggressive way. So, and I'm saying a beta is necessarily being feminine, but I'm saying it's the same concept. Black women, this is why black women are so in love with the term alpha. I'm an alpha woman. I mean, this is the things that this bullshit that the society puts this on them. Black women got to stop saying that, because it's not even 50-50. It's about 75-25 that they do it on their own. Even a woman walking around without hair, that's a choice. Get the fuck out of here with that.
And then also then they are masculinized. And especially as a dark-skinned woman, and then they're masculinized. And so if you've been watching Serena and Venus like I have since 1994.
But Venus has not been criticized in the same way that Serena has. So, and because Venus is not that aggressive like Serena is.
Then I watched them have to kind of change. That I felt that pressure to be feminine.
And that's one example. What about Naomi Campbell, who's just as dark? Like, come on, that's an easy example. If what you're saying is as true, as broad as what you're saying, you should be able to come up with other examples. What about Kelly Rowland? Like, come on, man.
Became a driving force for them to perform a certain kind of femininity. They always had to feel that they needed to prove their femininity, like Sojourner Truth, who had to bare her breasts who chose to bare her breasts to her audiences to prove their femininity. Yeah. And so, whereas we're strong people due to our labor, due to our
Sojourner Truth was like a hyper feminist too, man. So again, she's trying to change the order, which is an aggressive move. Like, I'm not letting white people off the hook, but this is not about letting white people off the hook. This is about you kind of understanding both sides of it.
Practices due to her hard work, but it can't. That kind of power it's not acceptable in the United States culture as womanhood.
And it's interesting
that
you show me anywhere that power is acceptable. That power is not even acceptable like that in Africa. Not necessarily Serena, but like that aggressive. If you turn that on your own men, be acceptable. You can't show me in Africa where that's acceptable. This is what I'm talking about. Like it's like
the cornrows and the beads, because I don't know if you remember this, Stacey, but they were penalized for wearing the beads in their braids. several of those tennis matches and then eventually had to take out the beads because they would penalize them if the beads fell.
Yeah, I mean, that's petty shit. Yes. But you know, this was funny. Here's my thing. I hear what they're saying, but why the fuck are you all are never saying this to white men? You're never saying this to white liberal men. You're never saying this to white women. I do not hear the conversations in which white women are having black women are having this conversation with white female fans. I don't hear these conversations. You all always want to get on the black side and bitch to black people about this shit, but you all are not. See, it's funny about, and see, this is where it's funny about the Me Too movement, because a black woman came up with the Me Too movement, but the reality is white women co-opted that, but I don't really see white women. This is my problem.
Oh, they would say it was a delay of the game.
Right.
It was, yeah. So it's interesting. Michelle Obama. I've been watching the documentaries on the first ladies, and they made a really big deal about Michelle Obama bearing her arm. I mean, Lord Jesus. I mean, come on.
And black women didn't say shit, and Obama daughters. The Obama daughters stay around white boys is what I'm gonna say. So let's cut the bullshit.
Poochie, moves. I done seen it all of it. But on a
this fucking Angela Yee bullshit she's doing right here, man, for real.
Less provocative measure, they showed people like Jacqueline Onassis wearing sleeveless dresses and sleeveless shirts, where because of how docile the white woman is, and it's as if she's floating on air. No one ever thought it to be a problem until a black woman decided to.
Absolutely. It's because white supremacy, dumbass. And my problem is with all of this bitching, I never see you all taking this to white women ever. You're basically we're basically in the living room right now, and you're bitching other black people for what? White men and white women. This is my problem, because when you all get on the airwaves, the only thing I see coming out your mouth is low-key blaming black men. And see, here's the thing though, they won't let you talk. If you were to say this shit on their airwaves, they won't let you speak. And black women know that. So my point is, if this shit is that big of a deal, then you all need to start, y'all should be the main one saying y'all not gonna support this shit. So whatever.
Bear her arms. We're going to keep talking about black women and the perception and how America.
I don't really want to skip through this, but this is getting on my fucking nerves, man. Oh, this is my dude.
On my phone, and it reminds me, I'm showing just a second, but it reminds me of 10 years ago. 10 years ago when I got into
best dude to learn from ads, man. Billie Jean, he is that dude.
And how America treats black women when we return on the Tammy Mac Lake Show on Fox Soul. Welcome back to the Tammy Mac Lake Show on Fox Soul. And we thank our guests today. Dr. Umar Johnson is here. Stacey Mitchell is here. Dream McClinton is here. Kia Fields, everybody. We're continuing the conversation on black women in America.
This is where you need dudes like Dennis Sperling on. This is what's great about guys like Dennis Sperling, because Dennis Sperling will give some clarity to this. But like I said, you got 3 women, 1 dude. I get she's the host. I mean, this tells you all you fucking need to see. Same thing with Ice Cube and all the women. This tells you everything you need to see. This tells you, and this is why your men are walking the fuck away, man. They're like,
so I think it was maybe Nakia that brought up
he would be cooking their ass.
Films, or it could have been you, Stacey. Regardless.
Appreciate the super chat, Dwayne. Appreciate y'all super chat. Y'all are making this worth it.
Mammy to being the mistress, to there was a lot of flack when Mary won Oscar, because they said in order for her to win the Oscar, she had to sleep with a white man.
This is old shit. What the fuck are you all talking about? This
had to show this sexualized being. Dr. Umar, your thoughts on
Eat
black
this
women?
up in a minute.
I mean, if people if we are misunderstood, if black women are misunderstood, it seems like our misunderstandings make for great cinema.
I would agree with that. And I think there's a larger question there that black women have to ask amongst the queendom. And I think it's something that black amongst itself as well.
Nigga, the queendom. Are you fucking...
And that is it acceptable for me as a representation of my community, whether I like it or not, to cater to stereotypes that have long restricted the opportunities of black?
Yeah, they were talking about this in the comment section as well.
If it is being done to advance my own career. Because one of the things that you constantly see, men and women, but of course we're talking about our sisters, is voluntarily participating in these stereotypical roles, which uphold age-old negative beliefs about black women.
But what you won't talk about is to create television shows that black women actually support. You won't say that because it's easy to blame it on the people that are just trying to do the job.
To advance their career. When do we stop doing so? Because even when you come over to black media, it's not much different. Yes, you get more positive content on black platforms. That is true. But at the end of the day, the hypersexualization of the black woman is just as...
Oh my God, the hypersexualization of the black woman. These bitches just got done saying that WAP is empowering the black women. What are you serious now? Like, we need to stop this bullshit. Like, black women are just having this thrusted upon them and they're embracing it with open arms. Cardi B is a perfect example of that. And if you don't believe that, just look at Megan Thee Stallion. Fuck out of
in
here.
Black entertainment and media as it is.
Let me ask you this. Let's say I'm an actress and I take a few roles that are stereotypical roles because I'm early in my career. But
they're being slick. They're being, and by the way, all black people do that, by the way. But they're being even black men as far as like stereotypical roles. The truth is, they're not going directly at it, but they're trying to slow walk.
And I do have a purpose. And I feel as if these are roles that are going to get me to a higher platform, a higher level in order bigger way. What are your thoughts on that?
I would then ask, how often have we seen that narrative play out? Because what we know does exist in Hollywood, male or female, is typecasting, where when you play a particular role very, very well.
I mean, but we're not going to tell the truth about Hollywood as we're not. Oh my God, I don't even want to really
lock into that. Example would be like a Bokeem Woodbine, who played the thug and the gangster so well that when he tried to play roles that were not thugs and gangsters, it was hard for him to find them. Or comedians who make people laugh so to drama is difficult for them to do so. So when black women cater to the stereotype too well, sometimes they can be typecast and it becomes difficult for them to make that bridge over to more respectable.
Yeah. What's up, North Carolina? FYI, voters have 3 easy and...
Man, Steph, if you don't... Steph look like... Hold on. Steph look like they put a gun to him.
Mail, can vote early in person or on election day. One-stop early vote starts on October 15th. You can vote.
Yo, Steph, are you did your girl make you put them cornrows on? This is not the Christian Steph Curry. This is the I gotta what nigga. This is the Donovan Steph Curry. Nigga, are you serious? Do you see what the fuck I see? This nigga got cornrows on. I'm a light-skinned dude. I refuse to drag a thug for these bitches, man. I refuse. Come on, man. You gotta do better than that.
Any one-stop site in your county.
Now you have never seen Steph Curry. I have never seen Steph Curry with cornrows. All jokes aside, did these motherfuckers dress his ass up so he appeal better to black people? Do you see what I see? They said you gonna talk to these niggers. So you know what the uniform is. Oh God, you better get some cornrows.
Go to iwillvote.com.
Do you think it plays differently when you're in a production that is written, directed, and produced by a black person?
I think that the dynamic may be somewhat different, but the outcome is always the same. And so then that leads to that other question as well. And that is, when do we as a people start taking control of our...
And the truth is, women are the ones that drive the media. So the truth is, that's what women want, and people need to cut that bullshit out. Like that's not what's going on. That's why when you look at people like Will Packard or and other black producers and Shonda Rhimes, a lot of times the shit is the same because they're making the shit for black women. That's what black women are gonna say that shit.
Because I will say this: we are the only people in human history. This goes for the brothers as well as the sisters. We're the only people in human history who actually participated in the extermination of the, he said, for any other people in the world to participate in the undoing.
What he won't say, well, I'm not going to lie and act like, black men and rappers haven't hurt the image. So it does go both ways. It does go both ways. But under that, we all know that the media is driven by women. Absorb it a lot more than dudes do. And you can see it in the niches that, like, let's cut that bullshit.
Okay. You just blew my mind. Talk to us. Tell us real quick.
He didn't say shit.
Because I know Stacey. I see Stacey trying to chime in here. I see you, Stacey. But tell us, be really specific about what you're saying here, Dr. Umar, so that we can get it.
I'm saying that although white America and Hollywood and white media bears the larger burden for creating and sustaining these images of black women, black have to be held accountable to some extent for how they participate in it as well. No different than the brothers. No different than the brothers. It's not a double standard.
Oh no, that's how you know who's in control. Hold on, let me slow that shit down for a second. Let's slow that shit down. First of all, you funny, yeah, with the cornrows. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, Death Row. Yeah, he does look like an affiliate of Death Row.
Stacey trying to chime in here. I see you, Stacey. Be really specific about what you're saying here, Dr. Umar, so that we can get it.
I'm saying that although white America and Hollywood and white men bears the larger burden for creating and sustaining these images of black women themselves have to be held accountable to some extent for how as well. No different than the brothers. It's not a double standard. But when I look at these reality shows, these reality shows in this generation to undo the black woman's recreating of her own public narrative than any other thing I've seen.
And niggas do not watch these reality shows. I used to work in a call center. I'm gonna tell you right now, black women, they're hypnotized by these reality shows. And I've actually studied hypnotism. I've actually gone and took some courses on it. Like I've actually took some courses. I've paid money to go to some seminars. I'm telling you, I know what it looks like. They are in a trance. And if you change that fucking channel, that shit will snap their ass out that trance and they will want to beat your ass for doing it. I did that a couple of times and I said, all right, let me stop. And I told them, yeah, I know. They used to look at me every time I walk past the television.
Every spirit played up. And what makes it so much worse is that these reality shows are often believed to be real. They're often believed to be true. So people are once again buying into images they've seen for over 100 years. The reality show.
Hold on. Notice how the young dark-skinned chick is, look at it. She don't like it. She getting up. I see the body language, the shoulders. She wanna prove why this is true. The spirit said, don't let that nigga talk. You check that nigga.
To destroy the image of the black woman.
It's starting to get good, y'all.
Stacey, I want to go on to this reality show thing because every time I hear someone say how horrible these reality shows are portraying black women, I oftentimes come back with, you seen the white reality shows? Right?
Of course. Well, that's a good point. That is a good point. That's a very good point. But the thing is, white women don't believe the reality shows like black women do. Yeah, the white reality shows, that's actually a really good point. That's probably that's the comment of the day. Because again, now it's about, they're making us look bad, but that's not true because that's not what they're designed for. Good point.
They just as ghetto. What's the difference?
The difference is white people know that's not who they are. And to be fair, even Jersey Shore, Italians had a problem with Jersey Shore because of the same stereotypical reasons.
The difference in the Housewives of Atlanta, which is an all-black cast, and then the Housewives of, I don't know if it's Orange County, the ones with oranges, the Orange County, which is the all-white cast.
Let me lead, Stacey. Stacey, let me lead. 10 seconds. Let me say this.
Fundamentally wrong for
Okay, go ahead.
Let me lead.
Okay, first of all, you a nigga. Let you say anything at all. You already know. And you said let me lead, nigga. You already know that's a trigger word for black women. You nigga, you better recognize where the fuck you at. I know you at home, nigga, but they'll bring up that damn school. They will bring up that school and say, "Where's the money?"
Let me just say this one thing, really quick.
Go ahead.
I have to as a psychologist. The difference is you don't only see the white woman as a sexual being. You don't only see the white woman as a masculinized female. You see the white woman as the vulnerable.
Of course. So I knew he was gonna cape. If he was gonna see, he was like, "We let your ass lead. You better lead in where we want to go."
Mother, you see the white woman as the young professional. You see the white woman
Umar.
You see the white woman in the full arsenal of all the different roles.
Swap
that
him
she
out for
plays in
Boyce
society.
Watkins.
Black
Boyce
women
Watkins
don't
married. He don't give a
You
fuck.
do not see black women occupying roles that exist for a woman. That's why it's so dangerous.
Well, you used
because we're
to.
limited.
You used to.
That woman is not.
But is that the fault of
Yeah.
black women, or is that the fault of Hollywood? Is that the fault? Okay, black women are like, this is a role. This I have to eat. I have to get paid. Versus, okay, this I feel like you're putting so much on black women, and
See, this is where if you was in the manosphere, this is where you was in. If she was in the manosphere, she'd get triggered. Gonna say, "Okay, I hear you, but let me tell you this: the one thing that Hollywood is gonna, and they would be righteous and right in doing this, is they say they're gonna come to you if they decided to take care about what you're saying. It's financials. We make a hell of a lot of money selling commercials when it comes to this content. You know, maybe the problem is you all are supporting it too much. Reality, man, are you serious? And then the fact that escapes her point where she's getting overwhelmed because she's losing her mind. And see, this is the issue. The problem is not what he said. The problem is he's a black man saying it.
the appearances of black women versus
Society, black women occupying all of the dangerous because we're
are like, this is a role. This I have to
Exploding. She's low key exploding. Like she can't. She really couldn't stand it.
eat. I have to get paid. Versus, okay, this I feel like you're putting on black women and the
Well.
appearances-
By the way, ma'am, black women. The Hollywood is black women. And then if you look at the producers of these shows are black women. Yeah, there's white people at the end of the day getting money, but they are black women. Cut the bullshit. Like it ain't. It's cut the bullshit.
of black women versus what they're actually giving out. I think that's unfair, and I think that's a trap that anybody can fall into.
I think it's incumbent on us to hear exactly what he said. He said, even though Hollywood is responsible for what has happened to the black women, we also play a role in accepting that narrative. Stacey?
Yes.
She's giving Janae energy right now. And number one, that's the age difference right there. Because she can't even understand that because she's overwhelmed by emotion. That doesn't even calculate. First of all, Umar doesn't have a reputation of really coming at sisters. So I don't know where you, and she should know enough about him to know that. Number two, what is Umar? You blame Hollywood. Okay, what is Hollywood? Really? Hollywood is people. If you the people taking on the roles are making a choice. And Umar addressed that. Those are women in this case. One. Two. At the end of the day, it's not just them taking the roles, and it's just nothing but white people producing these shows. A lot of these reality shows are produced by black people, black women in particular. Because if it wasn't true, if somebody wanted to take a shot, they do what they do in rappers and in the rap. Shawnee O'Neal, it's others. And I'm not saying they're the only ones that make these shows. Obviously, there's white people involved as far as, the money. But my point is the ideas a lot of times are being brought to by black women. They got their shit covered. We're not even going to talk about Shonda Rhimes. You know, and I have black male producers too, but when I like this idea that black women are having this thrown at them and they're not involved in it at all, it's bullshit. And it's, come on now.
And I have to agree. So this is a point of contention, especially as one of the courses that I teach is womanism, right? And so we don't have to do nothing. Simple. We don't have to make that song. We don't have to take that role, right? Patty McDaniels did that role, right? And she had to take that role when there were literally no other roles. Today, pick up your phone, make your film, write your story, right? That if we must go into Hollywood, because I want to just go back to that of how we qualify what has value in our communities. That with the Halle Berry and the Hattie McDaniels, and even with Viola Davis, who questioned whether or not she should take this role with the help. Those are the roles. Yeah, she questioned it. She talked about that deeply. Like, I didn't really want to go back and play no maid, but I figured you're gonna do it better than me. I'm gonna bring her at least bring her some dignity. But she still, I think, grapples with that, with whether or not she needed to take that role.
We're gonna when we come right back. We gotta take a quick break.
First of all, though, Umar went to reality shows because reality shows was the easy number one. Reality shows get a lot of views from black women. Reality shows, and I would argue reality shows define black male female image, at least within the black community, a hell of a lot stronger. The community culture a hell of a lot stronger than the type of roles doing. And I would argue it has a lot more detrimental effect on black female image than a lot of the bigger roles do as well, because people call it reality, which is what Mar was talking about. And again, she got overwhelmed by emotion because she's just hearing blame black women as if like involved in consuming the content. If you consume I say this all the time to men on this channel, you are accountable to who you listen to. A lot of the people that talk shit in the manosphere is telling you are accountable to who you listen to. So it's not anything we're not holding other men, you know, but again, black women are strong, independent, and perfect. Like, and I mean, this bitch has had, I hate to call her a bitch, but goddamn, look on your face, you know, for how long? I mean, I know you hate God, but shit.
On the Tammy Mac Late Show, we'll be right back on Fox Soul.
She mad because she the darkest chick on the show. That's really what it is. That's really why she's upset.
Before we celebrate the freedom most.
And she ain't even ugly. That's what. She ain't even ugly. That's the sad part about it. The scowl she's got on her face makes her look attractive.
Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. We're talking about black women and their likability. And Nakia has already said, oh, they like us. They love us. They love everything about us. They just don't respect us. And we're now portrayal of black women in movies. It seems that when white women roll their eyes and snap their necks, they're scolded for trying to act black. But then the idea of imitating a black woman,
they are acting black,
is oftentimes seen as ghetto. So the thought of putting a black woman in a movie or in a television show is often the ghetto girl, the crackhead. I have to say, I really have to speak to today's directors who are black.
I mean, at least they're not blaming black men yet. We're over half. We're about 65.
It definitely is changing as we go. It is definitely, without a doubt, changing the role.
And I'm gonna tell you something. When I look at me personally, because I watch more TV than I should, but you gotta remember I work from home, nigga. I can show you some shit. But if I look at the content personally that I've consumed, you know, I play Mortal Kombat. I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has obviously Jackie Briggs in, you know, Soldier. You know, they got her feminine, you know, feminine they can get her. Basically saying she's strong, techno, uses basically robotic techno armor to do some shit. Jade. And Star Trek Discovery has a woman as a female-led role, who, by the way, they've actually rewritten her to be a lot more feminine. Very good sister as an actress. And I've even heard white people, when they actually comment on meeting her, that she's actually a very nice woman. It makes, even though they don't like the character she plays, it's actually made them kind of go at the character a little bit less. And in this season, it seems like they have different writers. She's acting a lot more feminine. But even before, she was definitely a go-getter character, but they called her Mary Sue. And then I've watched I just got done going through Star Trek Lower Decks, which had a black female captain, as well as a black, the main woman in the group is a black female. And they got her on her likability to be pretty solid, to the point that even the white boys have kind of shut the fuck up about the show. But that's how much the show is good. So they actually kind of use that show as a way to kind of say, well, this is what Good Trek is, to make it so it's not racial. So I think off the top of my head that I consume. So I consume positive attributes of black women. I don't know that now. Can you say that about these bitches to be consuming TV? I don't watch a second of reality TV. I can honestly tell you that in probably 15 years, watched probably 10 minutes of reality TV, if that. I can't tell you anything about that outside of if Jada Black or somebody's commenting on actors that have been on that show. But and so for her to get this triggered when her generation, the main ones consuming and empowering it, you just want a bitch.
Of the black woman in cinema. But Nakia, we were talking about Viola Davis and how she won an Oscar and then later regretted even taking the
But again, that has nothing to do with the cop out
role. And my thought was, well, she took the role, then she won the Oscar, then she regretted it.
Well, privilege allows regret, doesn't it? So that's what she did. She arrived into her Oscar, and she arrived into her level where she could speak and she could say and she could look back on how she got there.
Viola Davis is privileged.
And say, maybe I would.
And they don't want to hear that with you being lighter like that.
When I got here this way. But when it's the only opportunity available to you, you take it. If it's a way you're going to feed your children, you take it. I'm more so feeling what you were saying because, I'm tired of people.
Well, the reality is I'm not even blaming the actresses as much as I'm blaming the market. The market, it's too like you can't say that women are not consuming this and men are not consuming reality TV. Fuck out of here. Our reality TV is sports.
People policing black women's behavior. Policing our behavior, like I mentioned, in the hospitals when we bring our kids to our schools. We're watching.
It's not about police. Yeah, white people do that, but it's also about helping you see how you contribute the very thing that you're complaining about. And the reality is, this is not outside of the realm of talking about that. Don't bitch about your image if you support people that actually fuck your image up. I don't watch hip hop like that. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
Our kid in the background at a virtual school, he now labeled for life that he had a gun in school. This is our families because of the fact that we are black, because we got 400 plus
This is a deflection.
Years of people oppressing us to express our emotions and be who we're supposed to be. These white women have the ability to go to yoga classes and relax and relate and release. And we don't. We go there and we breathe for that moment, and then we go back to the reality of trauma. I'm watching within these past 7-8 months. I don't know how long the pandemic has been going on, but I've been able to see social media and the news and the way they're reporting everything that's happening. Black Lives Matters are looters. The mothers of Black Lives Matter looters are black women.
But she don't.
Women. The sisters are black women. Black women don't have privilege anywhere, and we don't have privilege in Hollywood, let alone anywhere else. Not in our hospitals, not in our social.
This is the myth of white womanhood, guys.
Services systems. When we interact with social workers, even if they're black, if we don't do everything right, the way that they think.
And those are other black women, by the way. I have personal experience with that, with how my mother had to interact with a guardian ad litem when me and my brothers were in foster care based on some shit she did. And it wasn't until we got the black man that we were able to go home. But she won't say that. Black men, if they're social worker, get black women way more. Please, fuck out of here with that.
And that's family separated. That's generations disrupted. This is what we're living with. On TV, showing our booty and twerking. This is how we make money. This is how influencers make money. Sure, we should be held accountable, but
did you hear what she just said?
The mothers, looters are black women. The sisters are black women. Black women don't have privilege anywhere, and we don't have privilege in Hollywood, let alone anywhere else. Not in our hospitals, not in our social services systems. I
don't agree. I like Street Fighter too, but I don't agree Street Fighter is better than Mortal Kombat. No.
If they're black, if we don't do everything right, the way that they think we're supposed to. This is what we're living with, let alone what we're showing our booty and twerking. This is how we make money. This is how influencers make money. Sure, we should be held accountable, but we're not even there. That's a privilege to hold ourselves accountable. It's a privilege to be insightful and aware enough to know that we can have a choice. That's not
shaking your booty. And are you fucking serious? And she's a mental health profession, fucking entrepreneur. The truth, man, Butterfly Shaw would smack her. I'm gonna tell you that right now for saying some of the dumb shit that she's saying. And the reality is, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
we are. We are impacted by the world we are.
And you notice how you notice how she loved the dark chick is loving that. Whatever you want, because that's our privilege. Because in her mind, in their minds, white women can do the same thing. White women cannot do anything they want in relation to their own men. Now they have greater movement amongst the whole society, but when it comes to their men, for instance, white women can't fuck a black man and then be a white privilege is one that doesn't. Like I'm not, and obviously it's not equal, and I'm not trying to equalize it, but the point is the way they make it seem like it's so one. Man, that's bullshit.
Living in, and we are struggling to survive, and we're putting on a front that we are.
You're struggling to survive? Are you kidding me? I see more homeless white women, and I mean this when I say it. Do you understand? I can't. The last time I saw a homeless black woman. I saw a homeless white woman the other day. Now, I don't see homeless white women like that, but usually you're going to see homeless white, and obviously black men are the most homeless. Get the fuck out of here.
Magic, because we see our magic because we survived to another day.
And she brought the magic shit back.
Tired of it. We are tired of being gaslit and said we can do better. We've been doing the best we can and we've survived. So that's the best we do.
We came back to I'm doing all I can. I'm doing all I can, motherfucker. That's where we're at. I'm doing all I can. We're doing all we can. If it's so bad, then why don't you go somewhere else? I hate to sound like a white person saying that, but for real.
I would push back, and I agree with what this said wholeheartedly. I would push back on one aspect to say this. We spend as a people, and this is largely our sisters, $30 billion on beauty products.
Oh, shit.
That's everything from the hair to the shea butter. With that type of annual expenditure on how we look, we could own Black Hollywood to portray ourselves the way that we want to be portrayed. I understand.
Yeah, Ed the Chosen, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I mean, they don't let homeless people, you know, in the South, they don't be letting homeless people roam like that. Not in Raleigh, but they too clean for that. But the reality is, man, if you see somebody, it's like they do to a white woman, you don't even see homeless black men like that. Although I do see them, but you damn sure never see no homeless black woman. Motherfuckers need to stop See, here's my perception. This simple question. I would say, so you saying that black women got it harder in America than black men? Is that like, let's cut the bullshit. Is that what you really saying? What's the of that? Like, seriously. Because see, she's getting outside the realm of reality. And you see the other chick below that is agreeing with that because that's her own perception based on her own mutual shit. Look, man, I understand you hate that you're dark. But the truth is, there's a lot of Africans that hate that they're dark too, and they're surrounded by other dark people. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm short. Everybody got their thing. You want to fucking deal with.
We have to deal with the world that we're given, but we have the financial wherewithal as a people to change that narrative. So I can't accept the argument that says this is what they allow us to do when we have the money to do it the way we want to do it.
I think there's
she completely didn't. They completely disagree with that, and I mean, Umar hasn't even been talking like that.
And having the power of a studio behind you, I feel like that's a fallacy.
I mean, no, it's not a fallacy. It's just y'all don't want to do it. Y'all don't want perfect. Cardi B is a perfect example of this. Cardi B got her initial push from World Star Hip Hop. Then show it was it may have been 20% black men, but it was 80% black women that launched her ass. This idea don't have the ability to launch shit via me. That's bullshit. Issa Rae is a perfect example of that shit too.
Tyler Perry built the studio,
and Tyler Perry wants black women. All of them, black women have Trump.
Oh, she's about to lose her mind. Tyler Perry made his money entirely off of black female market by 90%. You can say, okay, let's cut the bullshit about Tyler. First of all, Tyler Perry, she really gonna play the card that Tyler Perry basically played a black female stereotype. I already know where she's going with that. I'm like, so who does that hurt worse? Does that hurt black women or does that hurt black men? That's number one. Number two, black women as a collective group clearly don't give a fuck about it because black women as a collective group have never complained about it. Have you all ever heard anybody complain, any black woman complain Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry is very much loved and very much supported amongst black women across the fucking board. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, Tyler Perry's entire empire is built on black women. This chick, this is funny. Let's let it go.
As performing as a black woman, as performing as all the tropes, Tyler Perry wants black women, all the black women doing black women have tropes. As performing as all the tropes, Tyler Perry built a studio on the backs of black women.
He built the studio on the backs of black women? Bitch, are you stupid? I don't mean to curse, but God, Tyler Perry, nobody, who the fuck, like, it's a slave plantation. Who the fuck made you buy a ticket? Who the fuck made you make your man buy a ticket to take you to that stupid shit? Are you serious? Tyler Perry served the gynocracy. Now people can talk about Medea all day. Black men, please, black women have get the fuck out of here. And you know why she can say that? She can say that because she's from a generation that doesn't buy into she doesn't like Tyler Perry because she didn't really come up with him like that. So she doesn't come up in the same kind of age group that will really support Tyler Perry. But the truth is, has she ever asked herself why the black women support her? And this is what I would ask her. I say, okay, you want to say that she's built his empire on the backs of black women. So tell me this. Have you ever asked any black woman why they like Tyler Perry? Because I've never heard black women speak out about Tyler. I've never heard black women speak out about Tyler Perry from Medea. If anything, you hear more black men complain about that. I've never heard him speak out about any movies. You not seeing a Tyler Perry movie unless they're taking a black woman out on a date. So again, this comes back to supporting it. Nobody made women support Tyler Perry movies. And the white man would damn sure not give Tyler Perry money if he didn't know how to deliver a return on investment to me 110% of the time. Let's stop it.
Agree with that.
You're saying you're
and White Hollywood did the same thing. White Hollywood did the same thing. So make sure you criticize them as well. My point is
bullshit. That's easy. And see, and here's the funny thing about this. You see how she's losing her mind. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Umar hasn't said you're losing your mind, but it's a stereotype. Look at how you're behaving. I mean, I don't like none of this shit. None of these chicks are saying, but goddamn, at least the older women know how to act. See, again, the older generation knew how to act like they had some fucking sense. They had a better meter. She has no chill. Look at how she's losing her fucking mind. She's losing her mind.
My point is,
look, she's losing her mind.
Money to recreate our own narrative by producing our own films. That's what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Disagree with that, then I would have to argue we do not want to take responsibility for changing the narrative.
I think that it's their responsibility to change the narrative.
It's their responsibility. So you're saying that it's Hollywood's responsibility, 100%, because pretty much that's what you're alluding to change your narrative. I would say, ma'am, with all due respect, my responsibility is to make money, period. That's what as a corporation, that is what the responsibility of the corporation is, to make money for the shareholders. I shouldn't even tell you this, but because it's so obvious, it's an open secret. If I want to make if I want to make a black film, you want to see. Girls Trip was made for $40 million and it made damn near 700 million. Tyler Perry is a billion. I would be a motherfucking fool to my shareholders to not see the profitability and showcase. And by the way, when you look at who's supporting this, it is not just white. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, wow. And I'm glad he said it.
It's the persons who are oppressing us and doing all the racist stuff.
White people to do this.
They
It is
need
us.
to
It is
reach
for
the
us.
Exactly, because white people are never gonna change. And the truth is, you can talk that big girl shit here, but the truth is you ain't never gonna get that. You ain't never gonna get in front of a producer and say that. You ain't never, because even Oprah won't do it. Even Oprah, the goddess of black women right now. Yeah, you saw how she got in front of that Me Too shit and cape for them white dudes. She's not gonna do that because her fucking network sucks, and they'll take it.
And we need to empower our communities to gain power. So I agree.
You empower, that doesn't mean anything. How can you empower your community when you responsibility for what you can control? Like, you are double talking like a motherfucker. In order to get power, you first start with an assessment of an inventory of what assets, resources, and strategies you have that you can deploy, meaning you get your shit together. You like she literally just double talked like 1 to 10.
Saying, I don't think we're saying different things, but I think in a way that you
Charles.
black women the onus is empowered right now.
Oh, now he's putting it on black women. Now you already know that. I'm telling you, what time is it? You already know minutes left. You know the nigga shit gotta come. They got it. They're contractually obligated to blame black men.
It's for the whole community to do.
Yeah. I need to jump in here because I think that as black women, you know, the spiritual power, you know, I've to it as magic, you know, why we're here to discuss black women. Your favorite person.
Spiritual power when it comes to magic. Okay, I craft country, but I understand you all are getting off on the black girl magic from that show. Can you all fucking chill that shit down? Because it makes you all look your fucking IQ. Black, what time is it? It's 4. Spiritual power, black girl magic. Bitch, how old are you? Then when they don't give these people a dot, they're talking about black. Oh my God, man.
Person on this planet is a black woman. That was one of my points, you know, that I sent in. We agree. They love the culture, but they like the culture, but they don't love the people. But at the same time, as black women, we are powerful. And that's not to say.
Oh my God. We're powerful, but we can't do it. Oh my God. God damn.
That I can speak for, as I sit in my door clothes on my laptop, right, speaking to you all, that I have the same experience of black women everywhere.
Make sure y'all get the likes up.
And so I can't say it's not for me to judge, but we do have to move with the business. So that if we choose to, even if we're choosing to dance on the poles, we got some histories and some rhythms there. If we choose to be a what they call a prostitute, do you have ownership over your own body? Are you commodity?
Oh my fucking, did you hear this shit? Do you fuck they're saying? This is that WAP is empowering bullshit, and you wonder why you got these bitches on OnlyFans and why these chicks are home. Oh my God, oh my God. This is crazy.
Yourself, and are you doing so consciously? So my job is not to tell you who or what you are, what has value, what you can, or what.
And these motherfuckers ain't this the bitch that said that Malcolm brought up Malcolm X?
My job is to say, be aware of how you're moving, right? Be aware of how you're moving and the choices that you're making as you go.
Yeah, but my point is that are we even aware of how we're moving?
Late show on Fox Soul.
be aware of how you're moving. Notice how she said be aware, but there is no accountability, because notice how she said aware, then therefore people have a right to judge you. Like, what are you talking about? And see, this is why black women like air, because they know judgment. If you're aware, and you can't say you don't know.
A crisis is never solved without a plan. And love.
You know she mad. You know she mad she didn't get picked. You ain't heard seen Elizabeth Warren in a second.
Welcome back to the Tammy Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. We're talking about the likability of black women in America. Now, Umar said that black women should take some responsibility for something, should take some responsibility in perpetuating.
Nigga, you know that's again in the system of the gynocracy. You need black women to take responsibility for anything. So Umar, you already know you broke the law.
Our own stereotypes. And Stacey said that
30
black
lashes.
women are powerful. I agree with both of you. And I also have to agree with Nakia and Dream when they say, look,
yeah, because you agreeing with one person would mean you're being accountable. Is gonna agree with everything. Black women are powerful. Okay, then stop bitching. You're powerful. Stop bitching about your mental health. You're powerful. Sprinkles. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna get that goddamn Shira 7. I'm gonna get Shira, because I ain't gonna lie, I like that shit. I'm gonna get that Shira 7 clip, and I'm gonna just sprinkle. I'm gonna get a clip every time down. We're powerful. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Every time black women start crying, I'm like, nah, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm not gonna lie. That's honestly, if Shira 7 really wanted to get in like the MLM business, she could build some shit, because she that kind of, yeah, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's exactly what I'm gonna start saying. I'm gonna start saying sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't, fuck that bullshit.
We can't do this by ourselves, and we ain't the one started this.
Watch, yeah, by herself. That's a dig. We got 9 minutes left, guys. They didn't bring up black men like this. Let's see.
But I have to say this, speaking about the power of black women and the you said $1 billion, Dr. Umar, 30 billion?
Correct.
$30 billion that we spend in beauty. My pet peeve with black women. My pet peeve. And I get to
They say, I already know where this was in the comments section, but I'm gonna and this is something that black men should hammer the shit out of black women about, because they have no argument for this.
Say it, because I'm a black woman, and I've done.
Oh yeah, because only a black woman can say it about other black women.
I no longer do it though. Try my best not to. I hate that we continue to get our nail services from the people that we get our nail services from, because they are notorious for disrespecting us. They are notorious.
Charles, I don't have the link because I wanted to do this on my own, because I didn't want this to be long. I just wanted to go through it because it was an hour. BGS was on here, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing. Y'all, whoever y'all like getting them elements, I'm gonna start getting that element. I want that sound element, because I'm gonna start really dabbling in that. And for real, sprinkle, I'm gonna start doing that shit when we do playbacks. I'm gonna do playbacks like this and do reactions. I'm like, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm not gonna lie, that shit, that's a brand. That shit, sprinkle, sprinkle. Every time I say some stupid shit, sprinkle, sprinkle. Your black girl magic, sprinkle, sprinkle.
You have to have cash when you go in. You cannot get something adjusted if you say, hey, you could.
You no pay, you no buy. You no pay, you no buy. What the fuck does that mean?
Do my nail right. They blame it on your fingernail.
You nigga finger.
Y'all look.
But you dumbasses go.
At your fingernail.
I've never gotten my nails done, actually, never. Like, I do it myself.
Your own nails. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say
I do not. For that reason, I don't get my nails done.
She looks like she ain't never been pampered. But I give you credit for doing it yourself. Save that money.
No longer get my nails. Refuse to give my money to people who consistently and repeatedly disrespect us. But we, for some reason, they plant themselves.
I'm gonna keep it real. The dark skinned woman on the lower left, she needs like a Rebecca Lynn Pope level mentor. If she could get somebody like that, she'd probably be straight. I don't know what it looks like, but if she look like she got maybe some chest in there, she got a little bump on the back, and she looks like she's on the thinner side, she'd actually be straight. Her problem is she carries this fucking demeanor. You don't even want to fuck that like that, man. She looks like for real. I'm dead serious. And sad thing is she's not an ugly chick. I'm like, why are you walking
into the
She
black
got this look like white boys just rejected her and she just I have no value.
neighborhoods and then disrespect us? Nikki, you have that experience or no? Is it just me? Is it just me?
Yeah, I've been completely disrespected in nail salons.
Sprinkle.
Yes, we had one here in Altadena that I believe is on its way out because the owner, I called her very bossy. I was like, you bossy, you're very bossy. And most of your clients are black women. I'm like, I'm just gonna tell it to you straight. We don't come to get our nails. You tell us what color we want.
Notice how you notice yes. You sure she on her way out? Yeah, because they don't care. Because they know. Because you gotta understand, you act like if you stop supporting them, they don't walk around like they need your business, and so that just shows how goofy we are for doing that. And notice how this chick ain't losing her fucking mind over this shit.
You tell us what we're gonna do, right? We come here to get pampered. But then what eventually happens is they get to, as you say, being disrespectful, and we're not coming back.
That's not true, because if that was true, they wouldn't exist here. But this is how, because I'm gonna be fair. They went this whole thing. It really wasn't about black men, so I'm gonna give them credit for that. But the truth is, this tells you a lot, because it's like black women can't even serve other black women. Because they have an issue. And you all use valid. You all need to be valid. See, the reason why black women go to other races is because they want to be validated by other people. And that again, that comes back to that self-hatred, and it's different degrees. Hatred's a strong word, but you know what I'm talking. I mean, when I say that. Anyway, let's finish this because I got stuff to do.
They ask me if I'm married. They ask me if I have a job. They compliment my butt. Talk to me about my butt. I mean, I just respect.
Damn, well, I mean, the marriage shit don't mean shit. I mean, that could be conversation, the butt. Wow. Yeah, Ronan, sprinkle. I mean, I know that sounds racist, but that's how I hear. You don't pay, you don't buy. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You don't pay, you don't buy.
To me, professional to me. And I think the last time I went to a nail salon, and you all, if you're a black woman out there and you listen, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Let me say this, and if I was on this motherfucker, I would say, you know what? If I'm glad you got disrespected, because if you go to another race woman to get your shit done, knowing the economics that we deal with, you deserve to be disrespected. But the truth is, black women will tell you they go to other races too, because the customer service in black nail salons ain't shit. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. So this bullshit about and you want to hear black women talk shit about other black women, just ask them why they don't support them. Now they sound like
what
us.
I'm talking about. And if I could get a coalition together of women who could just put these nail salons.
You know what? I know what she's about to say, but that's bullshit, because the truth is that, and this is a sister that said this in a comment. It was a couple sisters that said this in the comments. They said there's already a bunch of black nail techs. That's actually a hustle black women like to default to. So this idea that there could be more, but this idea that there's not enough, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not that they're not there. That's not true, especially in your major cities. That's called the how to sell to the Negro.
It's completely out of business, and we could support black-owned nail salons. It would just, I think that is my purpose in life.
Well, you got to ask yourself, why don't black women do it? Why don't black women talk about it more? Why is there no black woman evangelizing for this? Because that requires a level of accountability to Dr. That chick went on.
And I know Dr. Umar, you probably really deep.
Well, there's a project called By the Block, San Gabriel Valley, and I think it's a lot of other places. But I know a group of 4 black women who, because there was a racist incident at a laundromat in Altadena,
they only want to do this. And notice how black women only talk about that shit when they get disrespected. So outside of them and their own ego, this is not important to them. because that's the context by which they brought this up. Because Umar brought that up, what they said, and here's the funny thing about this. For those of y'all, I appreciate y'all staying with me with this. So Umar brought up how Hollywood disrespects black women and how you all could create your own media. And they lost their fucking minds when he brought that up. Yet, when they get disrespected on some nail shit, now they can figure it out. Now, so how am I not to believe that it was because Umar said it that they had a problem? That's number one. So because it came out of a black man's mouth, it's blame. And if Umar would have said it, and notice how what the host said is because I'm a black woman, I could say it. This is the same thing that when now you flip this whole panel and bring this back to the Ice Cube panel, and then you see how these women were reacting to Ice Cube. Look, man, Umar, I'm not trying to shit on. It's way far and beyond more successful than Umar, right? Yet they were giving him the same reaction. So it doesn't matter. Umar was married to a black woman, has been so, has hired these people, is an example. Well, technically he's done some stereotypes, but Ice Cube done some good stuff too. He could have done worse. But the point is, because now we're not talking about black men hiring black women, because at first that was the thing. But the point is, it doesn't matter the black man or the credentials they come with. You still gonna say the same shit. It's because it's coming out of a black man's mouth. And when you and the fact that these women are so like far and away from understanding that, women like the other one is younger, but the women at the top they look like they're in their 40s. This just to show you can't fix the community with this level of fucking insanity. You just can't.
Join this group together to buy that laundromat. Now they're a movement on Facebook, and they're looking to buy the block all over Altadena and Pasadena because they've had racist experiences. So I think your dream is possible. I think black people are waking up to the idea and collaborate and be that.
You notice how every time we talk about business, it's always like what black women are doing, and it creates this perception that black women are only ones doing shit, even though black men are doing technically more black women. It's just that the ego is about gassing black women up. It's black women, black women, black women.
That we need to collectively own more things, but there's a reality of red wing and lack of resources and school to prison pipeline. And I think that we do have to go after
the school to prison. The school to prison pipeline doesn't affect black women like it affects black men. I'm starting to get arrested in higher numbers because, quite frankly, black women are starting to act off the fucking chains on some of the shit that they're doing, but they still don't get arrested the way black men do. Now, yeah, they get arrested and attacked more than non-black women, but as far as black men, it's not even comparable. Even I would say even brown men, it's not comparable. Bullshit. So that's not a black female problem.
Engagement. We do need to empower our communities and mentor them to have businesses, and so that this far away thing, it's what is expected of our community, but that needs to be developed.
I mean, a lot by who though? You see, the problem is you all just say this shit, but when it comes to like you all want to expect the men to come in here and save y'all from y'all bullshit. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what I got to say about that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle some black girl magic
and we
on
need to
it.
nurture the mothers so that the mothers feel well enough to give that kind of education, and that they have a partner that enables them be that in society. And I think that's the work. We do hold ourselves accountable, but we can't hold ourselves accountable if we're not even present in the right mindset most of the time. And I think our mindset isn't. And like I mentioned, redlining.
Oh my God! No, I very much understand what she's talking about, but goddamn, like sprinkle, sprinkle.
It's a real thing, and to not address that is kind of
everything you're saying doesn't matter because sprinkle, sprinkle, black girl magic.
Kind of gaslighting us as well.
So, a dream. How can we change the narrative of how black women are portrayed?
Sprinkle, sprinkle, black girl magic.
Portrayed, perceived. I'm sorry, perceived.
Perceived.
How do we change this narrative? How do we?
I mean. She literally looks like somebody smacked the shit out of you. Like this was an hour. This was 53 minutes.
How do we make it right?
She don't even know.
I wouldn't even know where to begin, honestly, with that question.
I know y'all niggas be getting mad at me, man. I don't. my God.
I have no idea, because I would worry that what I would say would be as though,
You know why she doesn't know? She doesn't know because nobody never really told her the truth. And you're never going to know how to fix a problem if you don't really understand all, like, at least most of the aspects. You've been told that everything is this way, it's because you're dark. Now, what she really wants to say is to get some fucking skin bleaching cream and fix. That's really what she want to say. She's thinking about.
Can I pass it to someone else?
Yeah, get some Rashida. She needs, she been listening to Rashida. You know that's a Rashida Schroeder listener. You know that's a Rashida.
I see your thought. What look, I'm looking at you and I see what your thought pattern is, and your thought pattern is you don't have to change us. That's really
right.
Sprinkle.
I feel that if I were to say, oh, we have to change, or to be perceived as in the full, away from the fullness, it would take away from the culture, it would take away from the community for us to make a concerted effort to fit in with societal norms. What I think is just like,
so I'll take me as I am and I'm not changing shit. And the Zillennials have basically decided BGS not say that. He said he doesn't know if they're capable of change, and if they are, he doesn't know if they can do it fast enough. And as a result, black men are like, some of that biracial Latin pussy. Y'all could just sprinkle.
Like, they have the problem. They need to fix it with us. I don't have a problem. That's it.
Go ahead.
We just want to continue to be who we are. We really have not changed. The core of who Black women are over time. We will continue to be who we are, and as you said, they'll get onto it or they won't. The likability. I know this is our question of the day, but first of all, as Black women, more than that, we have to really truly love ourselves. And when we can love ourselves, we can love other Black women.
I love how they brought that up at the end. But that starts with you stop wanting to be validated by other people. Here's the thing. If you're going to carry this posture of, I don't have it, then why do you give a fuck? Because by definition, it doesn't matter. So, on the one hand, you want somebody's validation, but on the other hand, you want to say, I'm not going to change. Well, you're going to have to pick one. Otherwise, that's going to tear you apart.
We even know how to love one another, and then our children, and then we keep expanding from that space. But if we don't have any, then those perceptions become more damaging, right, to us, because we don't have our own kind of stance.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have.
Sprinkle. I mean, they had an hour just to come back to, you gonna take me as I am. And I ain't changing shit.
Yeah. And in my therapeutic work in mental health, like we say, you can't help other people until you help yourself first. Like that whole theory about
this coming from the bitch that don't take accountability for shit. You can't help. Well, what's the first step of helping yourself? It's acknowledging that you're in control and you have the power to do so. That requires accountability.
And you got to put it on yourself first so that you can put it on others. That's the same thing that happens with our wellness. Black wellness is we have to take care of ourselves. Those nail salon visits, we deserve all that stuff we're doing with our hair. It makes us feel good. And I don't want to feel policed about how often I do my hair or what makeup I wear, because that's what I deserve. I work hard for it. So we women, we have to sit in our wellness and our power, and then we'll empower others. But we need community. We need allies to do it. And we're likable, we're lovable. Like I said, we got magic.
Now, don't get it twisted. I'm saying we shouldn't get our nails done and be pampered.
Sprinkle.
Now, I won't make it
good.
I'm saying we should let Black people do it. That's what I'm saying. Or people who earn our money. That's what I'm.
But it's not limited for us. We don't have a lot of Black-owned salons. Believe me, when I find one, I try to find one, and then
you don't have them in California. That's you all's problem. That's not the same thing everywhere.
The prices go up, and then if we're not making as much money, like if we look at the data across. The books for us are more limited. So of course, I'm not saying it's all over, but it's
I'm not with you with giving my money to people who disrespect me regardless of.
I see what you're saying, Sammy. Like, your money is green, just like any goes through the machine. It's still, it comes out your debit card just like everybody else, and you don't deserve to be disrespected because you're spending your money in a place.
I find it interesting how whenever I talk about Black, people would say, well, Black businesses don't do this and Black businesses don't do.
Exactly. I'm glad she brought that up. Because they just acknowledge what I said. Again, but see, that's the problem, is accountability. Even when you look at shit that when it comes to weave, I understand you got to get it from the Asian. Shout out to BGS. They said a lot of them Asian kids are not wanting to deal with that. They don't want to do this store shit no more. So there's an opportunity there. Nails, that shit, this should be an enclosed loop, meaning there is no fucking excuse for you all to be running other people. And so this is bullshit. And again, this is what Umar was trying to say. And again, this is the problem. And you see it. You see it on this show. I know I'm stretching this out like a motherfucker. I don't think we had the money by Hollywood, but
do that. And that's why I don't go to black businesses. But then you take your business to people nails every single week, giving them thousands of dollars every single month, not saying a damn thing about how they treat you. That's the problem.
Yes, and then us as women, we've kind of moved. I shouldn't say we've moved out of that service industry, but we're doing other things with our life right now. We don't even see that culturally, I think, as like a viable, like, be a cosmetologist.
Okay, let's keep this on. Who is we? Only 10% of black women are like in corporate America like that. The vast majority of black women are in the service industry. They're in retail. This image of every black bitch is like this fucking Olivia Pope manager. That is actually a false image of who black women is, because you can't square that with the fact that black women have a negative wealth rate. That's like, again, what the fuck bubbles are you motherfuckers in? You all Kamala fucking Harris? Fuck out of here.
Cosmetologist, and not just to do hair, but to offer the full services.
I have a list of black nail salons. So if you guys,
please share, please
share them with you. Umar, take us home with this. Wrap us up as the only testosterone on the show, the Tammy Mack show tonight. Wrap us up and take us home. How do we get people to understand the misunderstanding of black woman?
Well, the first thing I want to say, it's been an honor listening to all of you beautiful, intelligent black women. I don't think we get enough opportunities to hear the brilliance of the black woman. So I'm proud of.
Are you fucking sick? Umar, you're fired.
All of you. But I do want to say this. We cannot complain or articulate a problem if we do not want a participation that requires our own responsibility and accountability. We are 60 years since Dr. King. We make a whole lot more money now than we did then. A lot we can do on our own that does not require anybody else to change how they think about us. I simply pray that we will take the initiative to use our intelligence and power to create the reality that our daughters can live in, free of the stereotypes and exploitation that we experience today.
On that note, I'd like to say thank you all, Nakia, Dream, Stacey, and Dr. Umar for being on the Tammy Mack Late Show. Until tomorrow, it's a blessing to be in your box on Fox Soul. Bye, y'all.
All right, so I'm gonna end that was some crazy shit. So I'm gonna end this video. First of all, I got 150 y'all in there. Make sure you check out, go to my community tab. I just reposted it. Click on the Classic Men Mag video and subscribe to it. Definitely do me a favor and do that. That is much appreciated. I appreciate you all dealing with me with this late night. It is 4 o'clock. I am going to regret this. Now, luckily, I got 2 hours on. I got to go in at 10, so I'm good. But I will say this towards what Umar said. Umar didn't have such an ego. I like what Umar said at the end, because the truth is, from a group economic standpoint, that's a good place to start. But see, the problem, and you hear a lot of that, boys, as much as him and boys go at it, you actually hear a lot of boys saying that. But see, the problem is that requires a level of accountability that black women as a group are just not prepared to have. They're just not. And at the end of it, and you saw a video, you saw it in Ice Cube's video, and I'm gonna start doing this more and more, because he don't even take care of his daughters. I'm agreeing with what was said. I go by what was said, not who the person is. My point is, Umar has always struck me as somebody that's been anti-capitalistic, and what he said speaks more towards understanding that capitalism is going to be a necessary solution, and then that speaks to growth. Because if he'd understood that before, he would have had different ways of funding his school that would have probably made it so it was more successful. But with that being said, I think this was a great video. I think this turned out really well. I'm definitely gonna, it was so late. I would have had y'all on here, but I didn't even know if I was gonna go through all of it. I appreciate that, Genuine Trucker, and I'm gonna make, and one of the commitments that I'm going to make this channel, going forward eventually, is I'm going to make it so my videos are easier to share. I know I'm not hardcore, but the way I go with stuff sometimes trigger people. And so sharing my stuff can, get people shit fucked up, but I'm going to make it easy, at least putting up videos that are easier to do. Yeah. I think I'm going to get into Fox Soul. I'm going to get into Fox Soul for real. And I'm not going to watch these videos. I'm going to do videos like this. I may do kind of commentary based on what was said and then end up going, but I like doing it like raw sometimes because that allows y'all to see how I think in real time. And if you notice, the shit that I'm saying is on the mark. Share the hatred. I don't hate black women. My thing, the issue, is what they do, and I'm commenting on what they do. Notice I didn't comment on who they are. I comment on what they did and what they said. It creates itself, and I don't think they're ready for that because I don't think they understand that there's people like they're not gonna just get a whole bunch of feed. Like, dude, like you're in the internet now. You're in our domain now. So you start putting shit out here like this, man. We're gonna start checking that shit in real time. Yeah, because it's it's not hate if it's true. And the shit that they were saying, that shit was delusional, man. And notice, I'm gonna say this and then I'm done. Notice what and fucking notice what she said, and that Facebook video, that Facebook post that I did, that Facebook video I did based on that thread. It's not like people, well, these women are just on, and these are just commenters. You don't even know if they're black women. They could be white people. The reality is, it's the same shit with these motherfuckers that I can see. I'm gonna go through it. I actually haven't went through Fox Soul's channel, but anyway. That being said, man, I know y'all gotta go to sleep. I ain't like this nigga need to shut the fuck up. Make sure you subscribe to that classic black man in my community feed. I'm a because I do want to get it up. I definitely want to get it. I would love to get it to 2,000 by the end of the year. That's 10 weeks. I think we can do that, especially given I already have 3,500 subscribers. Get at least 2,000 y'all over there, plus get some new blood, some different blood over there. Because I definitely want to take that channel boosted. I have different reasons for creating that channel. But yeah, with that being said, Marco is trolling. Seriously. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.